what's your thoughts on this? Say organizational ownership and accountability. So it needs to be just the driving the awareness and the education and the workshops and the brainstorming, kind of ideation around what's the art of the possible. When an organization gets started, say from a leadership level, who do they basically tag around accountability to go drive this, right?
Yeah, it depends on the organization, but I mean, oftentimes organizations, I see them setting up centers of excellence around data science. So if someone's ready to embark on that, great. You can name a chief data scientist officer or somebody that has performed, or a director of that sort of role that's just going to sort of take charge and be accountable for ferreting that kind of stuff out across the organization. So they're going to go out and build up their own sort of centers of excellence, almost like a value-based sort of service consulting sort of organization internally, where they can go talk to marketing, they can go talk to finance, they can go talk to operations, production, sales, and they can sort of facilitate some of these sessions. And they can kind of own the methodology and the process by which you sort of plot these things against value and time, pick those use cases and start to build out these experiments and kind of showcase the value. So I think that's what a lot of organizations do, but some just aren't ready to do that. So oftentimes I think it lands on the heels of the CIO and their organization, someone within their department that will take charge of the responsibility of executing on some of these processes to kind of develop that AI strategy and roadmap and build out that proof of concept, showcase that value. And in that sense, it can almost be managed like a project kind of thing where you have a start and an end and you're trying to measure the value throughout. But I think it really depends on the organization and kind of how committed they are to rolling up their sleeves and becoming an AI first organization versus they really just kind of want to test the waters with something to kind of prove it out. So different organizations might follow different methodologies there. But what have you seen? Because you talked to a lot of organizations around this as well.
Yeah, I agree that I think where organizations are going is definitely around the center of excellence capability. You're kind of combining data science, machine learning, AI, kind of all within kind of a center of excellence across the enterprise. I think because it is so data driven, that's the natural point. I think that organization, to me, is going to continue to emerge underneath the CIO's view. You hear now like a chief data officer, you got, but ultimately it's around that technology organization, but then they have to manage it very cross-functionally, right? Because the difficulty, I think, in this is ChatGPT's made it kind of mainstream now. I mean, it's like Google search, right? I've had Google search. Now I got ChatGPT. It's like taking search to the next level. Everybody's going to think that they're an expert in it, right? But some of the nuances around data security and, making sure that you're getting the right responses and the proper responses. How do you kind of feed data into different models and kind of the data requirements? There's a lot more to manage than just putting ChatGPT on everybody's desk, right? So I think it's going to be important that there is that control and governance that's kind of established. And especially, I mean, this is going to be, like we said, it's a game-changing transformational capability that if we think about over the next 5-10 year evolution in businesses, it's going to change how businesses operate, right? And there's going to be some companies that are going to lead, and there's going to be some companies that are going to follow. But I think, so now if you're the CEO, do you now have a strategic imperative on your top 3 that says AI strategy across our business that needs to be driven? Does that now become 2024 required as they go forward?
100%. I think it's absolutely imperative for every CEO to be thinking about how AI is going to disrupt my industry and how I can embrace AI within my departments to drive cost and efficiency. But just as important as productivity and cost efficiency, leveraging AI, how can I use it to differentiate myself from my competition? Whether it's providing value-added service capabilities around the products or the services I offer, how I can do things faster, easier, cheaper, how can I make the customer experience better? All these things if you're not doing them, somebody else is doing them.